Long ago, in a valley where the mist clung to the emerald hills, lived a farmer named Song. Song was a hard-working man, but his heart was always racing faster than the seasons. He spent his mornings pacing the edge of his rice paddy, waiting for the earth to wake up. The rice sprouts were tiny, no bigger than a finger, peeking shyly out of the water. Song knelt in the mud, staring at them so closely that his nose nearly touched the water. To him, the sprouts looked exactly the same as they had yesterday and the day before that. That evening, Song sat on a wooden bench outside his small cottage with his son Kai. Song sighed so loudly that it startled the birds in the eaves. "The rice is stubborn, Kai," Song grumbled. "It refuses to move. We shall be old men before a single grain is ready." Kai looked out at the peaceful valley, watching the fireflies begin their dance. "Father," Kai said softly, "the rice is not stubborn. It is just busy growing its roots. A plant must be strong underneath before it can be tall on top." Song did not want to hear about roots. He wanted to hear about harvests. That night, while the village slept, he lay awake staring at the rafters. Suddenly, a bold idea struck him. He jumped out of bed, his eyes wide with a frantic sort of joy. "I don't need to wait for nature," he whispered. Before the sun had even cleared the mountains, Song was in his field. He reached down into the cool water, grabbed a sprout, and gave it a gentle tug. He pulled it up just an inch, until it stood taller than its neighbors. "There," he chuckled. "A little help is all you needed." Song spent the entire day moving from row to row. He pulled and tugged, inching every single sprout higher out of the mud. The sun beat down on his back, and his muscles screamed in protest, but he did not stop until the very last plant was quote, grown. When Song finally returned home, he was covered in mud from head to toe. But he walked with a triumphant stride. He found Kai preparing the evening meal. "My boy," Song announced proudly, "I have done the work of 1,000 rainstorms. Go look at the field." Kai ran to the fields, his heart thumping in his chest. He reached the edge of the terrace just as the moon rose. But instead of a lush, tall crop, he saw a field of pale, limp stalks. Without their roots anchored deep in the cool earth, the sprouts had begun to shrivel. Song arrived a moment later, his breath catching as he saw the ruin of his hard work. Kai turned to him, not with anger, but with a quiet sadness. "You tried to help them grow, Father," Kai said, "but some things cannot be rushed. To force the pace is to lose the race." Song finally understood. This mistake became a famous lesson known as the idiom Miáo Zhù Zhǎng, pulling up sprouts to help them grow. It means that when we are too impatient, we often ruin the very things we care about. True success grows from the ground up, one tiny inch at a time. The following spring, Song and Kai returned to the field together. They planted each seed with care and patience. Song no longer used a ruler. He used his heart. They watched the hills turn green slowly, knowing that the most beautiful harvests are always worth the wait.